All right, so LeBron's been doing this podcast with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, and he talked about Bronny. He has some interesting things to say. I'm going to play the audio, then I'm going to come back with my thoughts.
Now, man, it's pretty special. He's handled the hype and the scrutiny and everything so perfect and so well. Yeah, you had the hype coming out, but there wasn't the expectations of being as great as you. And I didn't have to deal with. We go back to the social media. I didn't have to deal with the social media trolls either growing up.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I didn't have to deal with my father being this guy that's on the pedestal. I have to deal with that. Bronny has to deal with all of that. And if you ever meet Bronny, then you'll realize, you'll be like, I'm such an idiot to look down on him or not want him to do. He is the most chill, easy, fun kid in the world. He goes to work, he goes home, he takes care of his body, he plays his video games, he reads a little bit, and then he comes back and does the same thing. And he's like the best big brother that his little brother and little sister could ever have.
All right, so he's talking about, LeBron's, they're talking about people trolling Bronny. Now, look, let me have this to say. Have some people went too far with Bronny? Absolutely. Has Bronny probably had more pressure than him? I would say any athlete within the last 10 years outside of Lonzo Ball and LaMelo? Absolutely. But this is what we have to remember. Right? And again, this is coming from a LeBron fan. LeBron, you was the one that put your son out there. You was the one that was running around talking about you want to play with Bronny, and Bronny's better than half the people on League Pass, and y'all made Bronny a one and done when he was coming off the bench. Y'all had Bronny starting with this manufactured father-son duo. Bronny somehow picked by the Lakers, the team that you run, because you low-key the supreme leader over there. So, you got Bronny and all these endorsements and commercials. And look, I have a son. My son is not that much younger than Bronny. I would love for my son to play on the Lakers. I would love my son to get any type of accolades and use any amount of nepotism that's in him that I could provide. But also, you can't want Bronny to get drafted, but then you mad at the criticism. You already knew about this. According to Rich Paul then told Bronny, look, this was going to come with you going to the NBA. And while LeBron, you have to understand, people was rooting for you to fail too. There were people out there that compared you to Michael Jordan and said that if you're not the next Jordan, you're going to be a failure. See, I remember that. Me and you were around the same age, LeBron. We was in high school at the same time. LeBron, you got a $90 million Nike deal outside of high school. What do you mean by pressure? You came up in pressure. And instead of, you letting Bronny do the process, you rushed him. You forced the Lakers to draft him. And then, JJ Redick comes on a press conference and says, well, Bronny earned this. And we all know it's nepotism. Even with Gilbert Arenas' son, right, Elijah. Elijah looked like he might be nice. We don't know, though. We got to wait for him to get to the league. It's not even like Bronny was a top prospect. He wasn't the best player in high school. He wasn't the best player on his team. He wasn't the best player in college. He wasn't the best player in the Pac-12 at the time when it existed. So it's like, you're telling me this, and then y'all say, well, he's a second-round pick. Okay, well, how many second-round picks have the amount of endorsements that Bronny did coming out the gate, averaging 4 points at USC? And look, I think most people want Bronny to succeed. But LeBron, you have to understand, man, when you put that type of pressure on him, people are going to watch it. When LeVar told people, and when Lonzo was in college, that he was better than Steph Curry, that put the spotlight on him. What happened first night? Patrick Beverly went out there and locked Lonzo down and even told him, look, it ain't nothing personal what your father was saying. It's the same thing, man. I'm so sick and tired of these athletes where, they've been coddled and baby and I'm not just talking about LeBron, Javante Tank, Dave, all these athletes, man, they've been ooh and ah and pampered, and every move that they make, they think it just turns to gold. And it's like, when you come out and say something, when people come out and say, look, Bronny's not ready for the NBA. It might be the worst player in the league. We're hating. But guess what? The way to solve it is by winning. If Bronny would have went straight to the G League, nobody would have said nothing. If Bronny would have stayed in college 2-3 years, nobody would have said nothing. But LeBron, you can't act like this isn't a narrative that you created. So I just want to give my quick thoughts about it. Again, I'm sure Bronny is a great kid. I've said this plenty of times. He looks like he has great character. He says the right things, Hey, that's what you want out of a son. But you know, when people are criticizing his game, that's fair game. He's making millions of dollars to play professional basketball. He's not an amateur, you know. You want me to pay for his jerseys? You want me to pay for league pass to watch him? But then I can't critique him? We're hating. People are trolling? No, I disagree with that. But yeah, but let me know what y'all think.